Okay, so let's review. I think my voice just cracked. Let's review these INGs that we have because they can be confusing. We have INGs which are verbs, we have INGs which are gerunds, we have INGs which are now participles. So let's talk about the differences between these. So present participles end in ing. They serve as adjectives. Gerunds end in ing, and they serve as nouns. And verbs end in ing, and they can be that as long as they have a little to be helper verb to get there. All right, so we're just going to talk about like how do I know which one it's going to be. So just going to follow along with me. If you want to take notes, you certainly can. I don't have like a note sheet for you. I'm just going to walk you through some steps. Yes, this poor lady's so high peril terrified here. Look at her. All right, so let's take a sentence. I'm going to build off my first period class. So I'm going to say Mario Kart is ruining Andrew's social life. Sorry, Andrew. And so we will recognize that here's this ing ruining, but this would be a verb because it has a to be verb with it. So is ruining. If I change this and said playing Mario Kart is ruining Andrew's social life, well, then I want to recognize that playing Mario Kart is the subject, which is a noun position. And therefore, playing is now the gerund because he's doing a noun job. Playing Mario Kart. It's serving as the subject. So it's a noun job. So that ing is a subject. He's a gerund. And then ruining is the verb. To further change it, if I said, Andrew wonders if playing Mario Kart is ruining his social life. So playing is still the gerund. I just added some extra words at the very beginning. And then here we have is ruining is our verb. All right. So nothing new. I just kind of adjusted the sentence a little bit. Let's say skipping his senior prom, Andrew wonders if playing Mario Kart is ruining his social life. Well, once again, ruining is a verb. Playing is a gerund. It's the noun. It's the subject. Playing Mario Kart is the subject of is ruining. But then I have this skipping at the very beginning. Well, Andrew's already the subject. Let's see if I can get my highlighter, my laser pointer up here. Andrew's already the subject of the verb wonders. So this can't be a gerund. You wouldn't have a gerund in front of a subject like this. So you wouldn't have a noun in front of another noun. So this must be an adjective describing Andrew. And if it's an adjective, we call that the participle. So we can see the differences between them. The participle is modifying or describing Andrew. He's skipping. And I know it's confusing because Andrew's doing all those actions. He's ruining, he's playing, he's skipping. But you got to look at it structurally. Is with the verb ruining. Playing is the subject of is ruining, so he's a gerund. And skipping is in a position where it's an adjective describing Andrew. And that makes him a participle. I'm sorry, ma'am. Look, I'm gonna make her eyes red. I'm so angry. My eyes are red. All right, moving on. So if we look at number 5 on your modeling exercise, everybody, I went through this on Friday with all of you who are in school with me. I just want to go through it one more time. So this is my sentence for my first period worksheet. After winning board races by a fraction of a second, Nathan, waving his index finger and hissing like an angry kitten, began taunting the other students in class. Well, if you think about it, this is very similar to one of our diagrams that we have where we have these two participles, Nathan waving his index finger, Nathan hissing like an angry kitten. So those are your participles. But look at this. This is not a verb. It doesn't say he was taunting. It began taunting. So began is the verb. Taunting must be the gerund, taunting the other students. And here's a noun coming off this preposition. It's after what? Winning board races. So if you think about it logically, that guy becomes the gerund. It's in that prepositional phrase. He's in a noun position. And this other guy's a gerund as well because it's not part of the verb. It's the direct object. Began what? Taunting the other students. And then in between here, we have these two participles right here. Two participles describing Nathan. All right, so that should help you with your modeling exercise. A couple of last little tidbits for you. Puzzling question. If I said Mr. Fisher prancing around like a grasshopper scares me, and Mr. Fisher's prancing around like a grasshopper scares me. And the question is, which one's correct? Well, that's not really Mr. Fisher, but it's the closest I could have. And really what's happening is they're both kind of correct. The first one's a participle, and the second one's a gerund. And the reason I know that is this shows possession. If I ask myself, like, what's the subject of these sentences? Think about it. This one is Mr. Fisher scares me. The second one is really saying prancing scares me. It's Mr. Fisher's prancing, but the prancing scares me. Up here, it's Mr. Fisher scares me. And really both sentences are correct. Depends on really what your point is. Is it Mr. Fisher who scares you, or is it his prancing that scares you? And so, once again, both of them would be correct depending on what you're trying to get across. All right. So therefore, those are the real sentences you're looking at. So it depends on your point. Get out of here, Fisher. All right, let's do one more example. When it's a common noun, it can even be trickier because Fisher is a capitalized, very proper noun. Look at this one. The teacher prancing around like a grasshopper scares me, and the teacher's prancing around like a grasshopper scares me. And once again, that's a little bit sometimes even more confusing because when you take the commas out, you're really not sure what you're supposed to say. And once again, the answers are the same. Both of them are correct. It's either the prancing scares you or the teacher scares you. Depends on how you want to read that sentence. So just nitpicky little grammar things just to be aware of. All right. So to wrap it up, oh my gosh, here he is again. Look at him. He's so spry. All right. So a participial phrase sometimes takes commas, sometimes it doesn't. Second thing, be careful with that free modifier. You put it at the end of the sentence with a comma to modify the word all the way at the very beginning. Remember, ing words can be verbs, they can be gerunds, they can be participles. That's what makes grammar both amazing and really stupid. And then lastly, gerunds with subjects as opposed to subjects with participles have different meanings, as we proved in that last little example. Gerund could be the subject, and gerunds with subjects as opposed to a subject with a participle completely change the meaning, whether it's the prancing that scares you or Mr. Fisher in a bug outfit. There you go. All right. Have a great day.